What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade. Come to y'all with that analysis breakdown tribute on one of the best scorers in NBA history, Bernard King. And we're going to talk about how he got it done on the basketball court and how easy and how effortless he made scoring look no matter what team he went against. And he was really prepared and he knew what he was doing. So might as well get into it. He did a good job understanding how to use his dribble and his handle to get straight to the basket without trying too hard or without doing too much. He had a quick first step. He knew how to blow by you. He knew how to go right to the rim and do the right adjustments and air to not down shots. He also was an extremely good transition player, very strong, very explosive, very knowledgeable when attacking the paint in the rim to the point where he was flying in the air very quick after two or three steps because he was just that fast, that quick, and athletic, especially when he was in his prime. Not only that, he knew exactly how to create his own shot off the dribble. He got quick finishes also if he got a deep post position or near the basket. He went up straight and quick. So even if you had a help defender, he was getting that shot off very fast and you really couldn't do much about it. Even if you try to close the space, he still got enough of it to get it up. Sometimes he'll even turn to get closer to the basket to be able to shoot that shot as well. Not only that, he also knew how to seal and get the ball where he wanted it at, and then he, no hesitation, would just go up straight with that shot as well. He also knew how to bump you a little bit to create the space. If you didn't give him enough, it usually was a foul, and he still can make it. And then sometimes he just had other type of moves where he can just get the ball right in the spot that he likes and knock it down. He can come off screens or handoffs if he wanted to. Catch and shoot was just too easy for him, and he was burying those shots consistently as well. And you couldn't give him no room and no space because he was just that good of a pull-up jump shooter to the point where it's just scary just to leave him open. And that's why he also knew how to use those finishes quick to the basket of if you don't have the size, if you don't have the length in there, those shots was an easy basket as well. And then he also knew how to use his handle to be able to create the shot that he wanted. And since you didn't know where he was going to go or what he was going to do all the time, that could also result in fouls as well. And then he also knew how to use his speed and quickness in the paint, and then that allowed him to avoid the double team or see it coming and still get the shot that he wanted. Not only that, he also knew how to get in you, so that way it took away from you actually getting a chance to block his shot because he'll bump you a little bit or enough to get you off balance or to get you to foul or bait it into a foul, and then he can still make those shots as well, and that made him one of the toughest covers. He also knew how to pull up on that baseline, and that just became a signature shot for him where he only needed one dribble to get to his sweet spot, and then he was able to knock it down after that. And then he also had acrobatic finishes like alley oops that he can get and do as well. And then he also was a good transition passer. He ran fast and quick. Then he made the right decision after that, and it was a bucket for his teammates most of the time he was in transition. And that was something that you have to be. Either they trying to stop you or they trying to lose your ability to pass to your teammate. And then he was able to make the right decision in those situations. And that's something that you do have to do because it's such a key and important part to the game. And he also knew how to pass in the half court. He kept his head up. He knew when to pass it early to his teammates for jump shots. And even if he was dribbling or handling the ball, he knew how to find cutters and guys in the paint for finishes around the realm as well. He was an efficient scorer as much as we love and appreciate efficiency in the modern game in the 2010s and 2020s. Bernard King actually was an efficient scorer even back in his day. And that's what makes him special and that's what makes him stand out as a basketball player and as one of the greatest scorers we have ever seen, was that he knew exactly where he wanted the ball, exactly how to get to the spot that he needed to be able to get the shot that he wanted. And he was just so good and so able to knock it down consistently no matter where it was on the court. And that's what make him a guy that stands out because anybody can shoot a shot, anybody can take a shot. How do you put it in the basket? How good of a shot is it? And even if it's tough, even if it's difficult, even with double teams, can you make it? because the shot clock then becomes the team enemy, as it takes time to find you, it takes time to get the ball to you, and even if you can get the shot on your own, can you still make it to the point where it's hurting the defense to a point where they might want to defend you with a double team, which opens up opportunities for your teammates as well to get easy looks and quick, easy, higher efficient shots. So Bernard King, he understood how to do those things. This is a man that averaged about 3.3 assists per game. And that's good for the position that he played and the role that he played on the teams that he was on. I mean, he even had a season where he averaged 32.9 points per game, which is a lot, for any player. And that's basically one of the greatest scoring seasons in NBA history. And on top of that, he was a magnet for getting to the free throw line. He wasn't afraid of contact when he was driving or trying to get to his jumper or even in the post before he even shot his shot. And like I said, sometimes he knew how to create the contact and still make the shot and finish. He also took 10 free throws a game at his highest point, but he had several seasons where he shot over 5 free throw attempts per game. Unfortunately, he wasn't an above average or great free throw shooter for about majority of his career. He shot about 73%, which is average, which isn't terrible, but obviously if you don't get to the free throw line that much, you would think that he would possibly be a greater free throw shooter. He also was a good rebounder as well, for his position, averaging 9.5 at his peak and averaging over 5 rebounds for basically majority of his career and the 14 years that he played. Of course, he had some injuries in his career, but he still showed that he can bounce back and still be one of the tougher players to stop and guard when he was able to get back to the closest form of himself, as he was a little older when the injury occurred, but he still was one of the better scorers and one of the hardest players to guard even then. And he was able to get back to being a dangerous player. He did have seasons where he played 82 games or close to it, showing that he was durable enough mainly throughout his career to be effective and available as a player for his team and his teammates. Not only that, he did have seasons where he played over 36 minutes in his career or close to that as well, showing you that they really depended on his scoring and his playmaking and his ability to be a knack for understanding how to make, the shots. At the end of the day, he was a shot maker and a playmaker. And that's the best you can be as an individual, a guy, when your best attribute is putting the ball in the basket when it comes to playing basketball. And he had no fear in the shots that he was taking and was generating. And then you look at the fact that he was 6'7", 205 pounds. He also was got drafted in 1977 in the first round. He was the 7th pick, so he came in with some good expectation. He came in as a player that was respected, and he did live up to it because he's a Hall of Famer. He is a guy that played from 1977 to 1993, so he played in 3 different eras, the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, and still was known as one of the better players. He also played for the New Jersey Nets, 1977 through 1979, and then from 1979 to 1980 played for the Utah Jazz, and from 1980 to 1982, he ended up playing for the Golden State Warriors in 1982 through 1987. He played for the New York Knicks, which really showed that he was one of the better players in the league and one of the better scorers. Got a lot of love, got a lot of memories with the Knicks. They wasn't the greatest team ever assembled. They wasn't a championship caliber team, but this is a team where he was able to play his style, his way, and get the shots in the moments he wanted. And it was really special for him. And then, of course, the Wizards from 1987 to 1991, when they was called the Bullets, and then 1993, the New Jersey Nets. And then he was a 4-time NBA All-Star from 1982, 1984, 1985, and 1991, which is good that he was able to get in there multiple times, and even in the 80s and one time in the 90s. He was a 2-time All-NBA first-team member in 1984 and 1985, an All NBA second team member in 1982, and then he even made the All NBA third team in 1991 when he was a lot older. And it just showed you that he still had some left in the tank, and he did play a couple more seasons after that. And then he was so good that he did get a rare award that doesn't even exist anymore, and that's the NBA Comeback Player of the Year, which he ended up getting in 1981, showing you how he was able to bounce back and get control of his career and steer it in the right direction. He was also an NBA All Rookie First Team player in 1978, and then he got his scoring title that he really wanted and really was able to get, and that was one of the best parts of his career in 1985. And then he was a consistent consensus first team All American in 1977, a consistent consensus second team All American in 1976, and third team All American in ABC in 1975, three-time SEC Player of the Year 1975 through 1990s through 1977, and then three-time first team All SEC in 1975 through 1977, and number 53 jersey retired by the Tennessee Volunteers. And he also scored over 19,000 points because he scored 22.5 per game. He also got over 5,000 rebounds before he retired because he finished with 5.8 rebounds per game. He also had 2,000 plus assists because he finished with 3.3 assists per game. And he was rebounding well, he was scoring well, he was getting all the attention, and they knew they had to stop Bernard King or make it extremely tough and extremely difficult before for him to be able to score. And most of the time it did not work, and it did not matter, to the point where he knew exactly what to do even if a help defender or somebody was coming to make it even tougher to score, and he still was able to make it anyway. That's the mentality you have to have. That's what you have to do when you're in his position. And he came through time and time again through his career, and that's what made him special. That's what made us remember him as one of the greatest players. And he was also a player that didn't even really attempt threes his whole entire career. He didn't even have one season um, in his career attempting a three a game. So that just show you how he was so focused on the mid-range game and getting close to the basket to the point where he didn't even consider taking threes at all. And that just show you how different the game was for a lot of these scorers that I've been covering on this channel. And people don't even remember he only averaged 1.7 personal fouls a game. That was something that he was doing a lot when he was younger, and then he was able to calm it down a little bit as he got older and got better control over it. And he did play less minutes as well, so that helped sometimes too. But that was something that he had to improve on, and that's something that he did start figuring out as he got older and came back from his injury and played for the Wizards, for the Bullets, and the New York Knicks and the New Jersey Nets. So comment, like, subscribe, and share, and check out my other content on my channel. And don't forget to hit the notification bell to get the analysis when it first comes out. Other than that, y'all stay blessed up. Y'all stay good. Peace. And I'll see y'all later today with more analysis. If any news break or anything changes. Other than that, I'll see y'all tomorrow if it's meant to be. Gone for now. Y'all stay blessed.